April 2026 is over. I saw 13 new movies this entire month. Let's rank them. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Cinefanatics. My name is Robert Adams, and today I am ranking all 13 movies I saw during the entire month of April 2026. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, opinions down below. Did you see any movies I didn't? What did you think of the ones that I saw? Do you agree with my opinions? Just talk away down below in the comments. This is going to be pretty much talking about spoilers on some of these movies, except for the drama. There will be no spoilers on that. I'll talk about that when I get to it. But let's get into this list. Number 13, Thrash. Very pointless movie. I really did not care about any of the characters. The effects seemed to be just a small step up from like a made-for-TV Sharknado, and then there were like weird needle drops like Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles, while a house is sinking into shark-infested waters. Just so much of this movie doesn't make any sense or is actually rooted in any real kind of logic, like a reality where people would make actual logical decisions. I know a lot of people compared this to Crawl, which I haven't seen, even though I do own thanks to Fantastic Fest, so maybe I should watch this. Number 12, Balls Up. I do like good juvenile humor every once in a while, but this just hurts. And sure, it has some funny moments, but the overall structure of this film is to comedically annoy you with how hard it is for these two leads to not mess up. I did like the final jab right at the very end, but I don't know if it was because common sense finally prevailed and everything is right in the world again, or if it was just because the movie is over. Funny story, an actual true story. I was telling my brother about this movie, and he asked if the movie would be better if it was directed by the Farrelly brothers. Oof. Number 11, Apex. Great idea, good execution. I just feel like this movie suffers from a slow pace, and this is a movie about like someone who's an adrenaline junkie who likes to kayak rivers or go mountain climbing. It just didn't feel like it had that kind of emotion behind how the movie was paced. If they could have kept up like the cat and mouse part of this movie, I maybe would have enjoyed it a little more. I know it's a very slim 95 minutes, but there could have been a bit more meat on the bone with a couple of more hunting scenes. Both Charlize Theron and Taron Egerton do fine in their roles, and there are some beautiful shots given, like the mountains in Ireland or the landscape in Australia. Just needed more substance. Number 10, Outcome. This movie really reflects how much Hollywood is up its own ass sometimes. Funny using Keanu Reeves to play a fictionalized version of himself, sort of, as he is usually thought of as one of the nicest and most grounded Hollywood actors, and I know, that's the joke. But maybe this could be the movie's way of secretly telling us about Keanu's secret past that can't possibly be true type of way. Conspiracies aside, it was kind of fun watching Keanu Reeves like run around apologizing to people when we know that he is a kind and caring man. Or is he? Number 9, Pizza Movie. This is another stoner movie in the vein of like Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. This was silly and with some genuinely funny moments. I will have to confess that while watching this movie I was completely sober, so maybe watching it under the influence of certain substances, this may come out looking like Citizen Kane. Doubt it, but fun to imagine. It's a great role for Gaten Matarazzo, as I've only seen him on Stranger Things, so I enjoy a more grown-up role for him. The rest of the cast also, especially Caleb Heron, who I've since seen in Devil Wears Prada 2, and he was fantastic in that as well. It was a fun stoner flick. I like them running through like the levels of how like more inebriated or how it's affecting or influencing them. Reminded me of the Quaalude scene from Wolf of Wall Street and just how it affected them and watching it slowly deteriorate and cause them to be dumber. It was fun. Number 8, Over Your Dead Body. This is a remake of the 2021 Norwegian action comedy The Trip. This is a remake of the 2021 Norwegian. This is a remake of 2021's The Trip. The Lonely Island gang is usually hit or miss with me. I love their SNL skits, and I enjoyed Pop Star Never Stopping, but MacGruber and Hot Rod were both kind of meh for me. This movie has a good amount of comedy, but nothing like flat out knee slapping, like crying laughter for me. I love the premise, and Jason Segel was great, and I always loved Samara Weaving, but I feel like her role was more restrained. Like, we begin following his plan to kill her, and we don't know of her plan until she strikes, which I know is a part of the movie that was also a part of The Trip as well, but being that detached kind of feels like I don't have much to hold on to in the aspect of what's coming from her, especially when she's already proven herself in these kinds of roles like the Ready or Not franchise, where she is the main lead and she is the sole focus of those movies. Just she's sharing the role here, and I feel like we don't get as much from her as I would like to have seen. The ending is great, and it was very satisfying, and overall I liked it, but it didn't quite hit that itch that I was really wanting. Paul Guilfoyle is a total boss in this, though. Number 7. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. And this is Robert Adams' Cinefanatics' rankings position of Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I like it. I feel like it's a solid mix of like Evil Dead and Hereditary. I understand some people also compare it to The Exorcist, and I see those comparisons as well. It's just that nasty gore for gore's sake while we're dealing with like family trauma and a cult type ritual. I like that it does something different than the classic retelling of the Imhotep mummy story that we've seen over and over again. Pacing does slow down after the first hour, but the movie makes up for it with the sound design, which again, as I've said before, I think the sound design in this movie was better than the previous month's Undertone, which was a whole movie that was supposed to be based around the sound design. There is also a plethora of split diopter shots in this movie that they're great, but like just a whole lot of them. It's a good movie, just maybe trim a little bit from after that first hour and just make it a little faster, but I enjoyed it. Number 6, You, Me, and Tuscany. I don't always rom-com, but when I do rom-com, I like my rom-coms to be more realistic and topped with the freshly grated cheese that stops when I say when. This hit that perfect balance of cute cringe and heartwarming goodness, and Halle Bailey's Anna is kind of a moron, but she has luck on her side and a loving family that's having family problems. Love the gorgeous shots of the Tuscan countryside and the villas, plus the overabundance of food, which I'm not sure about you, I like to eat. It's a fun and cute rom-com, highly recommend. Number 5, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Oh, here we go. I enjoyed this for what it was. I still like the nostalgia beats that it provides, even though I'm not familiar with a lot of the more modern Mario. Like, I've never played Galaxy, Sunshine 3D, or really anything since the SNES, the Super Mario World days. So I enjoyed Yoshi. I'm just not sure why he was voiced by Donald Glover. And all the throwbacks to Super Mario Bros. 2 with like Wart and Birdo. I also really enjoyed the fight with Bowser on the bridge. It was just a nice throwback to that classic Super Mario Bros. Game. Story-wise, I thought it was okay. I think there was enough there that kept me interested, and I would be eager to see what they do with this franchise next. So I enjoyed it. Number 4, The Drama. Again, no spoilers on this one. If you want to hear my spoilery thoughts, I did make another video where I go in depth talking about them and like the logistics and everything. So if you want to check that out, that is available for you to watch. Go check that out over there. I like this movie. I was happy that it was over though, and I will probably never watch this movie again. I understand this movie in this current day and age where people have a hard time really forgiving stuff that people did in their past. Realistically, I hate that everyone turns on her in this for something she thought about doing 15 years ago. She is a completely different person now, and I know, suspend disbelief, and I do, for Marvel movies. Acting was great by both Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, but I think it was Alana Haim's character, Rachel, that really is the true villain of this movie. Locking a mentally disabled kid in a closet or a trailer overnight, that's the real drama. Number 3, Michael. I actually like this movie. As I said before, this is a fictional telling of a real person's life, so it's going to be changed just a little bit. Like, there's no Janet, there's no Diana Ross, no talk of any allegations. You want all that? Go watch a documentary. I thought the movie was very well paced, even though it does get slow in some parts, but I feel like you kind of need that lull to appreciate the hyper performance of Jafar Jackson, of Michael Jackson as a character. The acting by all three leads, Jafar Jackson, Coleman Domingo, and Nia Long, are all top notch. I would absolutely love to see Jafar Jackson and Coleman Domingo get Oscar noms for this. They absolutely deserve it. It's a great movie. I liked it. Number 2, Faces of Death. Having seen the original Faces of Death a long time ago, I really like what they did here by turning those movies into a modern commentary of how we ingest videos on social media. Using the supposedly real segments from Faces of Death franchise as a backdrop for a fictional story was a great touch, and I was really curious as to what kind of angle would they get with this, given how the originals are presented and how this movie is supposed to be a fictional movie and not so much a quasi-documentary like the original Faces of Death was presented as. Story and pacing is great. Barbie Ferreira and Dr. Montgomery do a great job with their characters playing this cat and mouse game. The kills are pretty decent, as you would expect for a movie based off of Faces of Death, but they don't quite reach Terrifier levels as the marketing would lead you to believe. If you're a fan of the originals or you're just curious, give this one a shot. Number 1, I Swear. Now, this is a movie that I would like to use as an example of how I want to critique a movie. I absolutely adore this movie, and you may dislike it or hate it and not have a single clue as to why I like it, and it's because I have a different viewpoint. This is a movie about a man who has a neurological disorder known as Tourette syndrome. I have ADHD, and it's really hard to have peace and quiet in my head, and it can sometimes be hard to communicate with others without interrupting them or losing track of what I'm saying mid-sentence. And I understand that on the neurodivergent level, what this character is going through in this movie, so I connect to that. But this is just a great movie that's full of feeling and emotion and how we are all different people and we all view our worlds with different aspects, different experiences, different ways of thinking. And I absolutely adore the movie because of that. This is a biography of John Davidson, a Scottish man who has the type of Tourette's that causes you to say obscenities without being able to control it. His brain works to figure out what words should he not say, and then his brain just makes him say that word. So it could happen in the most inopportune times, like saying fuck the Queen when you're meeting the Queen of England, or yelling a racial slur when you're at an awards ceremony when people who could be affected by that word are currently on stage. The actor portraying Davidson, Robert Aramayo, does a phenomenal job, and he won the BAFTA for this, which is basically like the British Oscars. I urge everyone to watch this movie. This is my number 1 movie for April and will very likely end up being my number 1 movie for the entire year. If you don't know anything about Tourette syndrome, or if you had an opinion of the BAFTAs incident, go see this movie. It may change your heart. Spunk for milk. Anyways, that's going to do it for my ranking of these movies. Again, what did you think of it? Let me know down below in the comments. Did you agree with some of mine? Do you have differing opinions? I want to hear, what other movies did you see during the month of April that I didn't rank on here? Let me know, and let me know if I should go see those as well. Make sure you follow us over here on Cinefanatics. We're at The Cinefanatics on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me personally at RCA Reacts on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and Letterboxd. That's going to do it for this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate each and every single one of your views. Make sure you subscribe, all the fun YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.